let's get into it, shall we? Shall we, my friends? Can we get into it? Okay.
Let's jump into it, gamers.
Let's jump into gamer. Switch to Electric Boogaloo. It's finally happening by 2025, or they're going to announce it officially in its official capacity. What do you think? Are you excited for this?
Yeah. So, like I alluded to too, they apparently they followed it up and specified in like an earnings call or something today that it is not another system. It is an upgrade. Is the best way to put it. So
that's fine.
That gives me super high hopes that my Switch games will work on it.
Well, I thought they confirmed. Actually, no, they didn't confirm it. I saw somewhere that like behind the scenes, it's absolutely going to be backwards compatible.
Oh, thank God!
Like 100%. I was going to open that, but it's not going to work. So that's really like the most we can ask for. Although then this other one said that like it can possibly run up to 4K 30, which at that point just stop. Like don't, I don't. You know what? 2K is fine. Honestly, like, or what about a Switch version that doesn't just make the game look like mud? That'd be pretty cool.
That would be, just some nice hardware finally.
Right. I just
get ahead of the game, Nintendo. Come on.
George, you have my old Switch. Would you get a Switch too? Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah, honestly, probably.
Mind you, he stole my Switch. He went to my house. He broke in. He stole it.
Right, he beat him up. I saw the black eye. I have the pictures.
You saw the what guy?
Your black eye.
Oh. I took okay. I heard something different. Okay. I was that. Okay, that actually got me. Sorry about that. Anyway.
Oh gosh.
I really do want to switch. I just want this is all we ask for, right? Upgrade Switch, plays our old games. I'm hoping that let's do an Everybody Is Here trailer again, but it's just all these games that are just updated. Everyone's here. It's like
if they do like an announcement direct or whatever for this system, and then like Sakurai just walks out. Can you imagine I feel like joy will be felt around the world for the first time in a long time.
I mean, I would feel joy. I've wanted this. I've wanted this 5 years ago. We got the only upgrade we got was through OLED, right? And even then, it was like
better battery. Look, don't get me wrong, better battery. Woo!
The screen on that is infinitely better. So much, it's like just a lot brighter and it just makes a lot more sense. But there was no graphical upgrades, and that made me sad. Like at least, I want to play Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom in 60 frames. Let's get on that. Come on, let's Also, better online. Some YouTuber made the defense that the UI for the Switch is so bad because they wanted to keep it as simple as possible because it's like you want it to be simple and portable. But I don't agree with that because it runs so poorly. like the dashboard and the online ecosystem when you're in portable.
Right.
It just makes me sad.
Can I have a console that I don't have to change the battery out on after a year and not have to deal with a crappy repair program for joysticks that break down after about a year or so?
Did you fix them at your job?
I fixed them at my job and I fixed my own.
That's wow. Huh.
Yeah, I had Joy-Con drift and I had my battery going out and I did both of them and batteries suck. I don't like them. You wouldn't think about it, but they adhese the batteries and they're so like Rhino tough adhesive, basically, to the actual device that you run a risk of damaging your screen if you don't do it right. I feel like.
What could damage your screen?
Yanking on the battery to try and pry it off of there. Okay. I can heat the sucker, but
well, what if I wanted to replace the RAM? Could I download it instead?
Oh, of course, coolram.com.
And me and Dad were doing we were doing a but should you buy for the NES Championship Edition before this? Spoilers, it's like a steal. And I bring that up because I hope for the Switch 2, please give us better online emulation. It is so terrible. It's so terrible on the Switch. Yeah. It's like It's
No,
abysmal.
Too much of their money's going to their paramilitary death squadrons that are hunting down people trying to emulate their games.
I mean,
No, really though. I'm afraid to even mod. I would think about before George stole mine to like have that Switch be modded and like do fun stuff with it. But I was just like deathly afraid of them like finding out and threatening my family.
They'll do it.
they
don't mess around,
absolutely,
dude.
they'll do it.
It's a real threat.
Oh god! Ow! Sorry, I had to hit something. Anyway, ow! I stabbed myself. My Ring Dragon of Raw thing. Am I bleeding?
They'll sue you even
No.
if you look at them funny.
Oh yeah, I mean, what? They recently took down all the emulate. Oh, what? Yuzu, right? Was that it, Rob?
They went
there was
after
that
Dolphin, then took down Yuzu.
Well, I
Couple other.
think isn't Dolphin's still around, but just can't be on Steam, right? They're like they
Yeah, that just can't be on
Yeah.
Steam. It's still around.
Well, the only sad part about this is that they said that it's going to be the announcement is going to be by April 2025. So it doesn't mean we're getting it by April 25. It's just going to be announced by April 2025. And
I assume we'll get it. Yeah, holiday that year.
Yeah, the announcement should hopefully address some of the concerns and the wants of the people, us included, of like, theoretically, hey, it's coming. Here's some of what it will be able to do. Did you want to play in 4K? Here
No.
you go. Did you want 60 frames?
No.
No, but we'll give you 45 frames a second.
seriously, I used to say no. This next Switch has to be 4K.
Play testers. Do you want 60 frames per second? No. Do you want a console that actually works? No.
Well, I got the console for you. I got the sold. It's just I used to be diehard on the whole. Hey, we need like the next Switch needs to be 4K. I backpedaling that so hard. I just want like it doesn't have to be 2K. Just give me like it looks great on 1080p and runs at 60. That's all for every game. Honestly, I'm totally fine with that. I don't need like a 2K device. I want a Switch that runs right when it's in my hands. I don't want frame drops, and I want 2D Pokemon back. That's right, Pokemon petition. Okay,
Well,
zero hype from you guys. Okay,
you don't want another adventure after this next one?
I liked Scarlet and Violet a lot, but I had so much more fun with Sword and Shield purely because of Dynamax Adventures.
Just give me Dynamax Adventures over and over again.
I really enjoyed.
Man, you guys really vibed with that, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
it was a shiny hunter's paradise.
It was fun.
It was
fun.
So there's this game, and I'm not going to name it because in fear of Nintendo tracing it, right?
But
And everybody that here knows what game we're talking about. And that game literally just shows like what simplicity Nintendo with Pokemon Company could do to give us just like a fun game that everybody loves. Like, I don't need this big journey venture or whatever. Like, I just want this like this. What like what we've
adventure with
been playing
unskippable hand-holding tutorials at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's definitely I've been having more fun with this Pokemon game that we've been playing, more than honestly Scarlet and Violet. I've just been having a blast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
It's like bad.
Scarlet and Violet had like the easiest shiny hunting available in terms of like acquiring,
with the sandwiches and stuff.
But they shiny lock like every legendary, which sucks. And Dynamax Adventure, it's like I'm just scared that they're gonna lock that down or like shut off the servers. So I kind of need it to get big enough so we can justify going back for the servers. So everyone, that's right. Please like, comment, subscribe, grow us so we can get those Dynamax Adventures back. Because I would love to get my disgusting shiny Groudon. Derek, every shiny that Derek gets in Legendary, it's like 5 or less tries. For Kyurem for me took 247.
I think Groudon were in like almost 300, right? For Groudon.
I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to talk about how many tries I put into Kyogre by myself. You know how hard it is to go against a giant Kyogre that puts rain down and uses his water attack and just nukes everything, and you play with bots and other stupid people? It's just, that really was my white whale, only it's pink. Like, It's Kyogre is my pink whale. But like I hate playing with Derek because he gets everything in 5 tries. Like we played like 1 round, Derek gets a shiny Flygon. Like his favorite
I'm just like, oh, what's this? I log on. I'm just like, hey, I got a shiny.
And then when we
oh right my god, yeah. the craziest one was before we even went live, I had an egg for it was a Lotad egg that like. I don't even remember why I had it. I wasn't going for the shiny for Lotad. I just had a Lotad egg for some reason.
It was on accident. It was like in the daycare, and you were swapping it out. Yeah.
Yeah, and it literally hatched a shiny, like 1 egg luck, for no reason too. It just like, oh my god.
So Derek has built-in shiny odds. It's
yeah, I don't know why.
It's crazy.
He punishes me in other things, but wishes me well in others.
Yeah, maybe the next Pokemon game it won't run like trash. But I don't know if that's. I still don't know. Does anyone know if it's because of Nintendo or because of Pokemon Company or both?
I think they blamed it on the system. I think that was the common consensus. But I don't trust Pokemon Company. So
I hope that we I saw like a mock-up for it. I would love like a DS style Switch that has the 2 screens. I love that.
Ah, dude, I would love that.
I
love
to
fully portable.
That would make Mario Maker really fun again.
Yeah, Mario Maker Smash again, fully portable like the 3DS.
I mean, it's poorly portable playing on the Switch, just to be.
But like fully portable. You know?
I saw there was like a very credible leak that, or with insiders, that the Joy-Cons are going to be magnetic instead of rails.
Oh, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
Right. Rob, what would be the problem if it was magnetic? Actually, would you prefer magnetic controllers?
I guess I wouldn't really have a frame of reference. Like, what do you mean magnetic controller?
So, like, with the turn switch Joy-Cons, you slide them in and they're attached by a rail system. This one, it'd be magnetic, so it just, like, clicks in because of magnets. My fear is that if you put any pressure up or down, it'll just, it'll just pop off.
Yeah, that's just asking for trouble. Can we do mechanical? Keep it mechanical. I'm okay with mechanical.
I don't know. I'd have to see it to believe it or see how well it works.
My only concern with like magnetic too is like with the comfort grip, I feel like the Joy-Cons is like the perfect size for like adult hands.
Right.
If it was just like the Joy-Cons magnetic though together, I feel like it's like too scrunched. Like you'd be playing like this.
Yeah.
With like the palm of your hand touching.
Right.
Yeah, and even with like the wrist strap attachments or whatever that they have currently for the Joy-Cons, even that, like when we were playing the games in the last time Rob was around and we were all playing, my hand cramped up so bad from like like the comfort grip is, I think, like Derek said, a really good blend of where it needs to be for like adult hands.
Yeah. No, the base Switch or Joy-Cons are actually uncomfortable if you're holding the Switch for more than like 10 minutes. They need to groove out they have to make like the right grooves and stuff like that. I was just reading something here about apparently some Spanish company who report accurately about minor details in the Switch OLED are saying that a larger Switch 2 will replace those rails with magnets.
So we can only hope that if they actually do go magnet, that they keep the comfort grip as is, and that they don't magnet together, and that they have something in the middle to allow for more spacing. Circling back real quick, I was looking up, and it looks like for Scarlet and Violet, it's just badly optimized. So like there's a
pretty badly optimized considering there was a memory leak problem when it launched.
Yeah, but they went on further to explain that there were improper backface culling and loading and deloading entities constantly. So like the programmers just, for example, one of the other things is that the water around Paldea is always loaded in. So the water, even if you're not near it, the water is always loaded, and that's partially why no matter where you go.
That's super interesting.
Huh. Yeah. And the reason behind it is that because they wanted that co-op experience and to have like the players go wherever they wanted, they had to keep like, I guess, water assets constantly loaded in order to enable people to kind of go off, explore on their own and do their own things at the same time as like playing together or whatever. I don't know how factual that is, but that seems to be a lot of the top comments, that there's a lot of assets and graphics that are always rendered in, while meanwhile all of the entities of like you leave the space for a little bit, so all the Pokemon have to deload and then you go back and then they reload in and stuff like that. It's just too much for the Switch itself to handle, and then it's just too much on the back end where the programming just wasn't fleshed out.
So almost like a $1 billion entity couldn't optimize a game. But to their credit, or to their defense, optimizing for the Switch at this late in the game is kind of
right.
And for a game that tried to have as many 3D Pokemon
idea.
I mean, I think to some degree their hand was forced. They're like, you have to get this out. We don't care if it's just if it's optimized or not. Like, it has to be playable. Because at that point it was barely playable, and yeah, it got kind of like updated, but they need to fix that.
Scarlet and Violet, I remember I was getting hyped for it. It looked cool. I bought it. I put maybe about 2.5 hours, 4 hours tops into it, and I've never gone back to it. It was not the Pokemon for me. I did not enjoy it at all.
I think the problem too was like, so like Pokemon Company is Nintendo, right? But like they are a separate entity. So I think like Nintendo like made Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and like those had like muddy parts to them. But then Pokemon Company was like, oh, we could do that, but they had no idea. It was like the first time Pokemon Company ever did anything like that. Which like it isn't an excuse, but like it makes it a little more understandable, I feel like. Granted too, that game, like if you just run around that base world, there's really no load zones. So like the whole game is like, I think we talked about it like a long time ago about how the loading in that game works and everything. But like the whole game is loaded for the most part, and it's always constantly loading like those instances of Pokemon and stuff.
Right.
So from a technical standpoint, I understand it. From a 25-year-old company standpoint, I don't understand it.
Right, but what I would argue against that is what they could have done was, hey, our game isn't really optimized that well. What if we added sector load zones? You know?
Right. Or just ask Nintendo, like, hey, can you send some guy to come help us, please?
Please.
Like, please, we're drowning.
It's just like the city itself was a load zone going in and out of it, and like, yeah, some of the houses, but realistically,
to, like, Area Zero and stuff.
I think it was just too big a scope for the Switch, and they needed to have load zones so that way the water doesn't have to always be loaded, you know? And like, it's really not the end of the world if my friend is playing on the other side of the map. If we're going to play co-op, I'd assume we're going to be kind of together. Love will keep us together. That's what my dad always said.
You would think, but you know, maybe some people just want to dive bomb different areas of the map and meet in the middle and see who caught what.
It also took only 2 DLCs to be able to fully fly at all times, by the way. I just want to keep that in mind. So like I still blame both. I think Nintendo has the resources to say, hey, we can give you as much manpower as you need. And like, even if they like, but every Pokemon game is going to turn a profit. I think I just saw Pokemon. They just released the numbers that Violet and Scarlet has sold 21 million so far.
Yeah, Pokemon. I think they released the Switch number today too. It's something ridiculous. It's like 140 million for Switch the system.
Oh, really? Let's see. Red and Blue / Green are at 31 million. This is December 2023. Sword and Shield 26 million. Scarlet Violet 24 million. Gold, Silver 23 million.
That's still pretty good considering how much everybody like poopied on. I can't believe Violet.
Legend Arceus is at 14, which I would argue is a better game at this point.
Absolutely.
So they have load zones.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like too, Arceus, like, it didn't capture as many fans of like the traditional Pokemon game, right? Like a lot of people didn't want to have to craft or do any of that stuff. They wanted just a traditional Pokemon, and they got Legends Arceus, which again is a lot of fun. Arguably better than Scarlet and Violet. I enjoyed playing it way more, but you look at the rest of the ones that are above it. Even Let's Go beat out Legends Arceus, and the only ones that didn't are Diamond and Pearl, Yellow because why? Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I don't know. I don't disagree that the ones that are below Arceus should not be below Arceus. I 100% agree with that, but I don't think Let's Go. But I guess that was for more of the kids, right? And like Arceus is not necessarily kid oriented. Like
what? Have you seen?
I don't think it is,
dude.
Just with the amount of reading that you have to do in Arceus versus like.
Boo hoo! Boo! I'm 3D Squelch.
Learn to read.
Learn to read. Idiot.
It is so ironic that you're telling people to learn to read when you guys won't do that either.
I choose not to. That's a difference.
No, you're exempt from this, George. I know that you read. I'm talking about these two.
Rob, who hurt you today?
Nobody hurt me, but I just think it's really ironic that you would say that, knowing full well that you guys do not read what's presented to you on a screen.
Cite your sources. Anyway, back to just a Switch 2. Again,
Last week.
I really hope that like the Switch 2 during the announcement they optimize a bunch of games. Like Scarlet and Violet gets an update to make it run better.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, these next gen updates these games should get,
right.
and
I've theorized the idea that everyone is here, and it's like Scarlet and Violet 60 frames. Doesn't run like crap anymore. Smash
everything specs.
And
we did it.
And just like Smash Ultimate stays the same. Like
no, you were so close.
Or like better online. It's like okay, we take that.
Better netcode would definitely help out a lot for the next version of the Switch.
Let's see here. What's another Switch game that just like pisses me off? Breath of the Wild, Twilight Princess. I wish.
Mario Maker 3 is a launch title.
Oh my god,
that's what I want. Dude, we're bringing back the classic eShop. We're doing it.
Virtual console.
Download your retro games.
And that's when Nintendo became $1 trillion company, when they finally brought back
took over the world. Jeff Bezos cried.
The end. That's a beautiful story, guys.
Right.
Anyway, Switch 2. I do feel like this is gonna be way too long of a wait though. Still, by just announcing by 20. Really, so like you said, holiday 2025. So we got basically 2 years more, or a year and a half, right?
Right.
Which kind of sucks. But
I'm really curious what they're announcing in June at the Direct. What?
Dude,
now that they've announced this, right? Everybody's in that mindset now of I got to buy a new system next year.
Derek,
but they could announce a banger game at the end of this year, right? That literally Mario Sluggers 2 literally blows people away. Derek,
I already have the list. I already have the list. It was already leaked. First, it's gonna be Fallout 4. Then it's Starfield. Then it's Starfield. Okay.
You're right.
Then Elder Scrolls Online. They never saw it coming. Oddly, God of War Ragnarok. No one sees it coming, but I know. It's crazy.
Nuts.
Puyo Puyo Universe, a new game. Let's see here.
Puyo Universe.
Switch 2 exclusive Puyo Puyo Universe. Dead Rising 5 exclusive to the Switch.
They bought the company from Microsoft.
Tetris 99 is making a comeback.
Tetris 100.
Shower with Your Dad Simulator 2025. I'm Your Daddy Edition.
Oh my.
Let's see. There was Tenkaichi Sparking Zero. That's coming to the Switch.
Switch exclusive. They announced. Oh my.
And then they're gonna top it all off with Halo Infinite. No one's gonna see it coming. And it's right.
Damn. You know what, Nintendo? I don't know why I ever doubt you, really.
So yeah, that's still going to be a Switch 2 lineup. But now that we're all talking about the Switch 2, I would argue, or not even argue, I would say I think the next Mario game is going to be a launch title. Since they learned that Breath of the Wild as a launch title was like unbelievably great, they're going to have just one slamming game. And I'm going to say,
well, we just got Mario Wonder, right? So it'd be
3D.
a 3D Mario game.
Yeah. So,
or it's something huge. Maybe the new Pokemon.
1 second. I just want to clarify. Awesome YouTuber watcher 2x4 donated $5. Top Pokemon Smash. I'm trying to understand. Are you saying what Pokemon would be Smash, or are you trying to say what Pokemon should be in Smash? Two very distinct
you mean like
but different.
Gardevoir, because like Gardevoir,
Lopunny,
or you mean like
Stunfisk,
like actual Lucario, like in Smash, like
Stunfisk.
Like you gotta use your words. Give us a little bit more context.
A little bit description.
Malamar, that's on my list. Octillery,
Smoochum.
Oh God, what Pokemon would you Smash? Okay, well, I mean, I think we're legally obligated to answer this.
Well, Gardevoir is there.
Malamar being a contrarian work. Would it just like kind of like you go and then it just
you
like
have
pull
to
it
be
back into your body?
You have to be upside down.
No, to make the Inkay evolve, you're 69ing, so it's upside down. So then,
it starts to glow.
You evolved from being in a 69 position. Oh my God! Wait, it's inking on me. No. Anyway, so I mean, I could just say Lopunny. That'd be pretty easy, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Actually, I think I'm gonna go with Steelix. I think Steelix would be like a good cuddle.
He's a gentle lover.
Yeah, Steelix is a confirmed gentle lover. He's always the big spoon, but when he wraps around you, it's just right. Thanks, Steelix. Rob, what's your Pokemon Smash? You have to do this. He donated $5. Okay, well,
side note, while Rob's thinking, I watched the Hero Gasm episode of The Boys last night because I've been watching that.
Oh, I haven't seen the new season.
Season 3.
Oh, okay.
It was the one with like the
I tell you,
B-list heroes. And like my partner was like, "You're gonna love this episode." I was dying the whole time. It was so funny. That reminded me of it.
All right, Rob. Now you have to say it.
Beedrill.
Damn. Interesting. Mega Beedrill or base?
Yeah. How many spikes do you want?
Either. Rob's really into pinch play. Ow, that stinks. George, what's yours? What did you say yours was? Was it Del Kitty?
What?
Del Kitty?
Is that what you said?
Isn't that the evolved form of Skitty?
Del Catty?
Del Catty,
maybe?
I didn't say anything yet, but...
Well, I was hoping.
Garbage streamer showing his complete and total lack of ability to remember names.
Robble Bobble would go with Ditto, the OG choice. You mean the slut Pokemon? That's too easy.
Ditto kind of works.
It works, but you can't pick it now that he said it. George, you say one. Are you looking up a list of Pokemon or something?
Yeah, but just
what's who's your favorite? Hold on. Totally separate question. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Scyther.
Okay, it's Scyther. Congratulations. Yeah, there you go. It's Scyther. Congratulations, yours is now Scyther. So you are smashing Scyther, and that's just how it's gonna be.
I mean, I could go with Lopunny as well, because I mean, let's face it. Or you can always cheat out and say Vaporeon.
Second choice, Mr. Rhyme. Hello,
Mr. Rhyme.
Mine's Heatmore. That whole like anteater fire one.
Oh my god, yeah. We didn't even think of like licky tongue. Damn.
No, but Heatmore's a total power top. That's the issue.
Keep an eye out too for a tier list of breedable Pokemon.
Why? Just go back and listen to previous Goons Games and Gear episodes.
Did we do a
we
whole
have
episode
touched on this
it?
topic so many times.
I know, we really do.
We're those guys.
Huh?
Do we just have a podcast on bangable Pokemon?
I honestly,
Goon Bang Pokemon GBP.
New tier list.
Oh yeah, God, those are fun. We did them. Anyway, that question and ridiculous answers and awkward answers were brought to you by 2x4 who donated $5. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Okay. So on to other news. Here we go.